Hello, how's it going? Zach D Productions here, and I'm here for an album review for you guys. So, this is for a newer release, and so for this review, I'll be reviewing the latest album from Crosses, which is entitled Goodnight, God Bless, I Love You, Delete. Crosses is one of Chino from Deftones' side projects, and I think at some point I'll get around to checking out all his other projects because I do like Chino's vocals quite a bit. And I am a big Deftones fan. They probably are one of my favorite bands too, so there is that. So I was definitely interested in checking out Crosses and this album here. From all the stuff that I've been hearing about Crosses, about them not necessarily being in the metal or rock genres and how they're more on the electronic side of things, I'm not gonna lie, that really piqued my interest and it kind of intrigued me. Now, some of you might be pretty sus right now, pretty surprised. Some of you might be thinking, okay, who are you and what have you done with Zach D? I believe I have stated before, some of you probably don't even remember this or don't even know this at all, but I believe I have stated before that I do want to check out other types of music. Like, I want to explore music and get into music that I wouldn't typically listen to. Like, I want to check out music that sounds like something that I don't already listen to, basically. And I already do like some electronic artists, so, you could make a debate on whether or not that Crosses is anything like outside of my realm, you could say. But it is outside of the realm of metal and rock, which is the majority of what I listen to, as a lot of you may know. But believe it or not, there are some electronic artists that I do like. Pendulum, I think they're called. I actually do like some of their songs. So it's not like I'm just exclusive for rock and metal, basically. I'm willing to explore other types of music. So there's that. And I do like some electronic. But I think it just depends on the type of electronic it is. Like, I'm not really into like dubstep. If there's like a little bit of a dubstep like sound in an electronic song, but that's not the majority of the song, then, I think that's one of the few exceptions that I can make for like a dubstep sounding song if it's like, it doesn't take up the majority of the song. And that kind of applies here with Cross's latest album, Goodnight, God Bless, I Love You, Delete. The album, it kind of has some of that. Now, I am not the most informative or the most knowledgeable when it comes to electronic music, not like I am with metal and rock. So I don't know anything about like new wave when it comes to electronic music or anything. I'm not as knowledgeable when it comes to electronic, but to be quite honest with you, I actually really like this album. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, that's not to say that I liked everything off this album or, I enjoyed everything off this album, but I would say the majority of it I did like. I did thoroughly enjoy. There's a lot of good songs on this album, and this will probably go down as one of my albums of the year. And again, I was really enjoying this one. It was honestly a pleasant surprise for me. And this project from Chino, like, I don't know like who he was influenced by with this project. Like, it kind of like some of the music throughout this album, I definitely got vibes of like other electronic artists, like I think Crystal Castles they're called. That's another electronic group. Sidewalks and Skeletons as well, I think that's another one. So again, there is some electronic music that I'm kind of familiar with, but, and I do like some of it, but I think it does depend on the type of electronic music it is. And I think Crosses, it has the type that I do enjoy for the most part. I think the type of electronic music that I like is like that sort of dark and ambient type music. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about, like when it comes to that type of music. And again, I think that this newest album from Crosses has some of that. There's some songs on this album that, I've been returning to a lot lately, especially songs like Runner, which is definitely one of my favorites. I really enjoy Chino's vocals in that song. And yeah, musically, sounds good and everything. I also like the title track as well. And I believe Invisible Hand was one of the singles to this album, and this is a solid song. I don't know if I'd say it's one of my favorites on the album, but I do like it for what it is, though. Solid track for sure. So all in all, I thought that this album was really good for what it went for. I think Chino's vocals flowed very well with the album, as well as the music itself. Once again, I'm not the most informative or the most knowledgeable when it comes to electronic music, but all in all, I really did like this. I really did like this for what it was. And I think at some point I'd like to pick this album up on CD, as maybe well with the rest of the discography. I believe Crosses only has like 2 or 3 albums, so there you go. Maybe at some point I'll pick up those if they're available. So Cross's latest album, Goodnight, God Bless, I Love You, Delete, was a really good album, and it's going to go down as one of my personal favorite albums of the year. This was a pleasant surprise for sure, so let me know what you think. Is this an album that you also enjoyed? And I would definitely recommend this if you are a fan of Deftones or Chino's vocals, or if you're into electronic music, definitely check this out. It's a really good album. So as a score, I have to give this album maybe an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10. Again, most of the tracks I did enjoy. There's some tracks that I didn't really necessarily enjoy as much, but, you know, they're okay though. So, yeah, I mean, that's just the way that it goes. So, really good album overall. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.